Hey, sports card fans, it's John, Wade Boggs fan. This is a recap of day 4 of the National Saturday. It was the third day for me. I didn't go Wednesday. Before I get into everything that took place today, and there are a few stories here and some actually cards, vintage PSA cards that I picked up, I'll show off. But before I do that, I failed to mention in my first update of the show what a great time I had Thursday night at the YouTube get together after the show ended. I met so many great YouTubers, all of them for the first time. I've watched their videos. Some of them I've seen their face, some of them I haven't. But to actually just hang out and meet in person for the first time, at least for me, was a great experience. I handed out some of my custom cards. Only have a couple of them left, which is pretty cool. But I did get some in return. This is Scott Reindeer Studios, really cool, like T206 style card. Then I got one from Eric, Those Back Pages, and he signed the back for me. I picked one up from Mike, Baseball Collector, signed that one for me as well. Then I have a dual autograph card. First side is Mike O, and the other side is Ed Westergriff. So pretty cool one there. And I picked one up from, now this was done earlier, Victor, All Time Greats blog. He's now changed his channel to Victor, the Rookie Card Specialist. But this was an autograph one as well. And a dual autograph on one card of from Dustin and Blake. And they actually gave me 2 Wade Boggs cards, a Drake's Big Hitters and a Cooperstown, Panini Cooperstown card. So thanks again, Dustin and Blake. And Eric 4-Leaf Cards, got to see him technically for the second time in person. Long story there. But Eric, it was good to see you in person again. And he brought along 2 Boggs cards to give me, 2 2021 Donruss. We have the purple, I believe. It's hard to tell between the purple and blue. I think this is the purple and the red. So Eric, thank you very much. All right, on to today. This was a day that turned from frustration into joy. Started off picking up my friend Rich, fellow Wade Boggs super collector, and his son Colton. Staying near him for the duration of the show. Picked him up around 10 o'clock. We had plans on getting into the show around 11 o'clock. Things were going well. 10 miles away from the convention center, traffic on the highway came to a complete stop. I believe there's an accident about 4 or 5 miles ahead. Again, we were supposed to get there at 11. We didn't get there until close to noon, almost an hour tied up in traffic to go the last 10 miles. So here I am, and if you watched my previous video, didn't really spend a lot of money, although got some great 1978 Topps cards for my complete set. But here I am, not spending the bulk of my money on vintage cards. It's Saturday. Was expecting to get there around 11. Now it's noon. So I'm feeling this pressure, and you shouldn't have pressure. I mean, it should be fun and enjoying the show, but I started feeling a little creep. I haven't bought a card yet. So finally, looking around a little bit more, I found this one table that had a 1955 Bowman Hank Aaron PSA 4. Looking at the comps and what he was willing to go, we were about $100 off, and just didn't look like we were going to make a deal. So I walked away. You know, sometimes you just have to walk away. I didn't want to overpay for the card, so it got to be around 1 o'clock or so. Took a break to grab something to eat. So now it's almost 2 o'clock. The show ends at 6. I am coming back the final day on Sunday, but I still hadn't bought anything except for the 78 Topps cards. So I went to this other section that I really hadn't looked through on Thursday or Friday and found this one dealer who had two cards, was interested in them, picked them up. All right, I got my two purchases, really nice cards, really good deal. So okay, so I'm feeling happy. Walk a little bit around the show, a little bit more, pick up two more cards again from one dealer, made a combination deal. All right, feeling pretty good. But I still had about half of my money still to spend. So I still had about 2.5 hours left at the show today. So again, kept walking around, kept trying to broaden what I was looking for, what may be interested in. Again, a lot of vintage, but a lot of it raw. And what I saw for graded was either SGC, and I'm just strictly PSA, or the PSA slabs were, I mean, 7, 8s, and 9s, or 6s or 7s on some really old vintage. I mean, high dollar cards that are just way above my budget. So I kept looking, and I found a 1955 Bowman in a PSA 5. So the first table I had gone that I walked away from had a 55 Bowman Aaron. I think I said Mantle maybe, but 55 Bowman Aaron in a 4 that I walked away from. He wanted 450. I offered 350. Saw this other PSA 5, really nice copy. They were priced right around comps, just under 500 bucks. Think I could maybe have gotten them down to 450. But then that would really have depleted my funds for the remainder of the show. And I had my eye on a couple smaller things. So I passed on that, didn't even make an offer yet, but I went back to that first table just to see if the card was still there. And we started talking, and the partner or whatever that was at the booth as well comes over. We start talking. He says, hey, so where are you on this card? And I said, well, I'm at 350. He's at 450. You know, we're $100 apart. Just, you know, can't make a deal. I just stopped by to see if the card was still here. Figuring in my mind, it was a nice card that maybe on the Sunday, late in the afternoon, I could come back, see if they take the 350, maybe 375, but that was going to be it. But I didn't tell them that. Anyway, the one guy that had come over, he says, I got a plan. And he looked to the one guy that wanted 450, and he said, would you take $400 for that card? And he thought about it a little bit and was like, well, yeah, I could probably do $400, but that's it. That's the lowest I'd go. And he said, and he looked at me, he says, and you're only willing to go 350. I said, yes, that's 350 is my max. That's right. Maybe slightly, maybe 15, 20 bucks over the recent sales. So I was willing, you know, to go 350. So he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a wad of cash, starts flipping through it, pulls out a 50. And he says, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to give you $50. And with your 350, that'll make 400 to my partner. Because I think it was his card. I think they have maybe some split inventory or something. This has never happened to me. I don't go to a lot of shows, but I've never had a dealer. I mean, why not just accept the 350? But what he wanted to do, that other guy, was to pay it forward. So he was willing to dip into his pocket for 50 bucks to see that I got this card, give him good karma, you pay it forward. Hopefully things will come back to you in kind, that type of thing. And so I hemmed and hawed a little bit, again, because I saw that nice 5, but I knew it was going to cost me at least another $100 for my 350. If I could get them to go down to 350. They were at like, or 450. They were at like 495. So I don't know if they would have dropped down to 450. So I was looking at least an extra $100 to to get the 5. And it was nice. It was centered, but this one is nicely centered as well. And again, it gives me more funds to maybe look for some other cards. Spread, the number of cards that I get at the show. So after about 10 minutes or so, I said, yep, let's do it. So the one guy contributed his $50. I contributed my $350. So I'm only out $350. And the guy got his $400. So they were so excited. I'll give them a shout out here. I have their business card. They took a photo of it. They said, hey, this is great. So they took a photo in front of their booth sign with the three of us, me holding the card and the one guy holding the $50 bill. And it was a great time. This is what the hobby's about. Now, I'm assuming this is something, it didn't sound like this was something that they usually did, but just something that struck this guy and said, hey, I want to pay it forward. I want to see that you get this card. And so it all worked out. So from what started off as a frustrating day, getting late to the show, still not being able to pull the trigger on my first big deal, to picking up a total of 5 cards, still have a little bit money left to play with tomorrow. Really excited with the cards I got. So let's go check them out. All right, a couple more things actually before I start showing off the cards from my previous video with all those awesome 1978 cards I picked up. A lot of them I got from this one table, and I wanted to give them sort of a bit of a shout out. Great husband and wife team, very pleasant to talk to, and they have some amazing, at least from the 78 cards that I saw. I'm going to be going back tomorrow first thing and finish the second binder, because I only got through the first binder before the show ended yesterday. But it's card. Now, the card they gave me says Card Kingdom out of Rochester, Indiana. Although on the dealer list, the vendor list for the show, I think they're listed as Johnson Sports Cards. But in any event, they have booth numbers 1128 and 1130. If you're looking for individual cards to complete a set, they have individual cards as well. Most of them, I believe, are raw vintage, but great people to work with, great prices. They gave me a nice deal on the stack of 78s that I got, and again, I'm going to be going back to them to look at the second half of their 78s and hope to fill out more of my set. And the second thing is, bumped in a couple YouTubers again today. Eric Goes Back Pages, Pepino Man, Victor, Picker, Jim S. It's nice seeing all those again. And I sort of tapped on the shoulder. To be honest with you, I understand he didn't know who I was, but Joe Silverjackify, I said, hey, are you Silverjackify? He says, yeah, and I introduced myself, Joe. Thanks for taking a few minutes just to talk with me. I know you probably don't follow my channel. I watch your stuff, great content, awesome collection that you have, and we exchanged cards, so I forgot to show this one off earlier. I didn't pick this one up at the Thursday get-together, but I picked this one up today. So he had a couple of them left, and I gave him one of mine, and I love the back of it. Congratulations, you have received a top certified autograph of the awesomest person on the planet. Your life is now complete. Love it. But thanks again, Joe, for taking a few minutes out of your time walking the show to just say hi and for me to introduce myself. All right, on to the pickups. So the first one, I'm going to sort of go in order here of the ones that I got. So this was the first table where I picked up 2 cards, made a really nice deal. The first one started off with a bang with the 1960 Yaz Rookie in a PSA 5. Nicely centered card. Usually you get a lot of, no, there's a little bit here, of course, it's a 5, but typically you get some ink roller marks right across the top there. You see a little bit there, but it's so light, and the fact that it's a really well-centered card on the front, PSA 5, near collector grade. 6 would be collector grade, but still very nice copy, and that back is really sweet. Sorry for the glare there with the camera, but there we go. So I got this one, and then I picked up. I couldn't find. Still have yet to find something in my budget or price range of 55 Hank Aaron. So I picked up a 56 Hank Aaron grayback. Again, nicely centered copy. Yeah, there's a little bit of maybe some um, dimples there in the border and at the top, but it overall it presents very well. It's a 3 again in my budget. I'm budget conscious on some of these vintage cards. I know I can't get the even mid grades on some of these just because of the prices. But again, great eye appeal. This is the one, of course, where it's not really Hank Aaron sliding into home, but that's Willie Mays. And the back is very nice as well. And you can see the gray back. And so this one was originally listed for $350, and this one they had listed for $400, and I picked up both for $625. So I think I got a pretty good deal there. The next group of cards, sticking with the theme, I had as a backup, or one of my potential goals for the show was to complete more of my Koryo Yastrzemski run. I would like to do a complete run of his cards, and I have 75 through 80. I just picked up the rookie cards, so I found a table that had 2 more and picked up this really nice 66 in a 6. Centering is like almost dead on. Man, I mean, I'm trying to see how this got a 6. I mean, maybe that one corner, I don't know. It is a really clean copy, and the back is nice as well. Look at that. Yeah, so I think they wanted only $45 for this. And then I paired that with this 1974 in an 8. Now they wanted, what did they want for the 74? They wanted 65 for this one. That was a total of 110. I got them down to 95 for the pair. So I think I did really good there. Really sharp 74. Fairly well centered, maybe a little bit left to right there, but it's really nice. And that back is super sharp. Really nice. So again, those were my 4 pickups. Now, back to the Aaron story. So here is the card. Here's the table: Champion Sports Cards and Collectibles. You can find them at table 312. So if you're going on the last day on Sunday, you're into vintage. They got a really nice selection of cards. They may even do some modern as well. They have a pretty big table. It's toward the back and to the left of where the restaurant is. But if you have any type of map, they are table number, again, 312. And man, the guys there just, again, were great to work with. And this is the result. This is the 1955 Bowman Hank Aaron. Let's see if, of course, let's see if it'll focus here. In a PSA 4. Now again, it's a 4, so that corner has some wear there and a little bit up there. Overall, the with that wood grain, there's maybe just a little bit of chipping there, but well centered card. I mean, that is nearly perfect. Nice image, no creases anywhere that I could see on the card, and it has a really nice back to it. I apologize for the lighting here. Of course, I'm doing this from a hotel room, so I don't have the best lighting here, so hopefully this shows up. And again, I settled for, out of my pocket, $350. But again, really nice deal. So again, I picked up 2 Hank Aaron's and 3 Koryo Yastrzemskis including his rookie card. So again, I have a little bit of, and we'll leave that Hank here and there, right there to show off. I have a little bit of money to play around with. I'm definitely going to be stopping at whether it's Card Kingdom or Johnson Sports Cards. Be stopping there first thing. I want to get the rest of those 78s out. Then I know how much I have to spend. I have a few ideas, took down some notes. Hopefully I can stretch my remaining dollars to get a little bit more cards rather than just maybe one or two. We'll see. So it'll be interesting final day, but hope you enjoyed my recap. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.